Hi, this is Jill from Fabric Garden, and today I want to talk about making face coverings. Creative Grids has made a wonderful template for making face coverings. It will cut 3 different sizes of mask: small, medium, and large. The first thing you'll need to do is pick out your fabrics. I like to use one fabric for the outside of the covering and a different fabric for the lining. That way I know which side goes against my face. I also like to pre-wash my fabric so that it's all nice and soft and ready to go. I have found that the perfect size for this is 6.5-inch squares. I put my fabrics right sides together for the outer and right sides together for the inner, and you can layer all 4 layers right together. Then to cut, you decide which size: large, medium, or small. I'm going to cut myself a medium, and you really need to use a small rotary cutter. If you try to use a 45-degree or larger, you may nick your template when you cut. Ask me how I know that. I learned that the hard way. So you can cut all 4 layers all right at one time. Just 2 cuts and it's all cut. Then it's time to go to the sewing machine. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to sew the curved piece on both your outside and your inside. Now, you can leave it just like that, or if you want a little less bulk in the center, you can do a little cutting. And I find you can just about every 1/2 inch, you can fold, take a little triangle nip, be careful not to cut through your fabrics. And you can just do that about every 1/2 inch, and you will take some of the bulk away there. You will go to your ironing board, and you can just use the tip of your iron and press these to one side. If you put them on your ironing board, both going the same direction, the curve at the top, and you press them both the same way, when you go to put them right sides together, they will nest. So once you've pressed, you'll nest them. And I just use a little pin to hold it. And at your sewing machine, you'll sew a 1/4 inch seam on either side. That's the sides of your mask. Then it is time to add your elastic. And you will just take your piece, and the template gives you some recommendations for the length of elastic. You may have to play with that a little bit. I find that I liked a medium, but that 5.5 inches of elastic worked better than 6 or 7 for me. So when you put the elastic in, you just put it in straight and you line it up with the edge of the curved side, and you do that on both sides, and then you're going to sew all the way across, catching the elastic. And I do like to back stitch over the elastic just to give that a little more firmness and really make sure it doesn't pull out of place. Once you've sewn that side, you're going to need to do the bottom side. So you're going to need to pull this elastic in. You just want to make sure it doesn't twist, that it just stays right the same direction. So I just push it in, line it up, give it a little pin, do the same for the other side, and now you're going to sew across the bottom. The thing to remember is you're going to need to leave an opening for turning the mask. So here's one that I've sewn all the way around, and I've left my opening for turning, and I've back stitched my elastic. I've taken out some bulk. You don't have to do that, but I like how that works. And now it's time to turn. And just give it a quick turn. It kind of helps to pull on the elastic a little bit. And it turns pretty easily. You can use the elastic to help get it turned. Now, so many times I will see people go to their ironing board and to press this flat they're always trying to work on rolling it and smushing it with their fingers. If you've got your point turner and you put that in and you just run that along the whole edge of the seam, and I'm going to lay it down flat and do it because that works nicely that way. And I'm just going to run it all along the edge of the seam. That will make your seam lie down nice and flat. And you can see when I go to the ironing board, I don't have to do anything but just press compared to this side that I haven't done yet. When I do that, run that along, right along the seam, and look at that. It's going to iron beautifully for me. And I just want to be careful when I iron the opening that I'm making it look nice and smooth, and I'm pressing. Now, at this point, you may want to try your mask on and see how it's fitting you, because at this point you could return it and make adjustments to your elastic. The template is marked. It has a little marking here if you want to make a pleat. And what I have found is that oftentimes if you don't do a pleat, the side of the mask will not lay tight against your face. So you just mark your pleat, or really this is about 1 inch. I just fold it. I made my marks, I fold it down and I give it a pin. And then I can top stitch. I do that on both sides. I top stitch all the way around my mask. That closes the opening. Got our mask done. On it goes. Fits nice under the chin, over the nose, and there you are. So that is the Creative Grids face mask, 3 sizes, and we have this here at Fabric Garden. And we also have some elastic. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week.